So this is the second part of the 4th grade coil pot project. We are not going to be decorating them in the typical way that we do clay at EDS. We're going to be using colored slips to decorate. So this is the reason why I've asked you to lightly cover your pots on the shelf by placing the plastic bag just down over them lightly so that they dry out slowly. When you come back to them, they should be fairly hard. You won't be able to move them around. This one's still a little bit wet, but when you come back to your pots, they should be fairly hard. You might be able to push them if you support the outside. You might be able to push them back to a nice round shape or do a little bit of shaping, but they shouldn't be completely wet. We're going to use colored slips. Over by the glaze, you'll see red slip. It says 4th grade only on the top. And then you'll see jars. It says black, new formula. It also says for 4th grade only on the top. And I've decanted some of the black into a smaller container. And you can do the same with the red. This is just thinned down black clay and red clay. It's the same thing that we use, the white slip that we use to build this clay. It's just different clay bodies that create different colors. So we can attach them and use them as decoration on this white bodied clay. And we do this before it's fired the first time, what's called on greenware. So this is greenware. It's clay that hasn't been fired. It's about halfway dry. And you can use it just like the glaze to paint right onto the glaze, right onto the clay. So you could make a pattern, you can cover the whole thing with red or black. I think I might make stripes around here, around the bottom. And because this is clay, you can paint the whole bottom. It's not like the glaze. We don't have to worry about it sticking to the clay shelf. So because we're painting it on already wet clay, they'll dry together and bond and it won't flake off. So I'm just going to make some stripes around here, around the bottom. Maybe I want to make some stripes around the top too. So wherever you want to put the red and black, you'll end up with a white pot that has red and black decorations on it. We've never done this project before, so I don't have a finished sample to show you. So here I've used some of the red clay, and then maybe I want to put some black clay on here too. If it comes off on your finger, that's okay. You just put some more back on there. Maybe I'll just do some black polka dots. When the clay's a little bit drier, this will hold really well. So I'll do some black polka dots. Now you can see that I have a little bit of dripping going on. Sometimes you can make that work for you, but if you really don't like it, all you have to do is take another dry brush and you can get in there and just pull it right off. Or you can grab a clay tool and wipe it off, or like I'm doing with my finger. Just wipe it off back down to the white clay, and then I can go back and touch up my design. So when I've gotten it to a place where I'm happy with it, I would just put this on the clay shelf, check to make sure that my name, initials, and room number is on the bottom, and I would put it on the clay shelf to dry. And that way I know that I was done. Another thing that you could do is once you're done painting that on, you can let it sit for a few minutes and the drier clay will soak in the moisture from the wet slip. And then you could go back and take a craft pick like I've done here, and you could scratch back into the white clay. So you can see here I'll have red clay with some white stripes, white polka dots. I made a spiral here on this one, and then I left this one out to dry. You can see I've also covered the whole bottom in the red clay, and that's okay because it's slip, not glaze, so it won't stick in the kiln. So then I would just leave that out to dry like that, and when they're dry, I'll put them in the kiln and you'll get them back.